I feel like the harmonies in Day6 songs are very like characteristic of Day6. You know what I mean? Like, the songs do not all sound the same by any means, but it's like I hear this and I'm like, this sounds like a Day6 song.
Okay, so now you guys are reacting to your very first K-band.
Jesus.
This is Day6, so they play their own instruments, they compose their own music. This very first song, Warning, is the opening track for their latest album titled Youth. It is about falling in love with someone, and you know the relationship has a high chance of ending badly, but you just can't help falling for them.
Whew, damn. Coming for me.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, classic
Ooh,
like rock.
we got that like grungy sound.
Wow. Wait, I love this. I like that. Ooh, scary. Oh, it's scary because it's a warning. Wait, that like is how music supports. No, okay, shush. Text painting.
Already in the major, we just directly changed the expectations right from the beginning. But the other type of major, parallel relative.
Actually, I really like that kind of like choral background. They have like little choral lines in the back. That's pretty neat.
Wow. That's wow. Wow. These are my friends to me.
Oh yeah, Jay, that's right. You sing it.
Jay's breaking it up.
Oh man, this bass line is like, oh, it's making me like edgy. It's just like,
I feel like the harmonies in Day6 songs are very like characteristic of Day6. You know what I mean? Like, the songs do not all sound the same by any means, but it's like I hear this and I'm like, this sounds like a Day6 song.
Ah, you expect the instrumental to come back as the interlude, like a traditional rock song. But no, it goes straight back to the parallel major for the second verse.
I actually like the timbre on their guitars. It's good.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. These are just like bringing back some real like repressed memories.
Also, note the Dorian chord progression. Major 4.
Yeah, I feel like
So
it would be
like-
kind of like a dark concept with someone running away. Like someone leaving you at a wedding or something.
What is the line?
I don't know, who knows? Whoever knows.
Warning. I love that. Warning. How it repeats.
Like,
Just sounds like an electronic warning, like set your house on fire. It's like, warning.
that momentary falsetto.
this like ethereal major sound with like the held pedal tones and the melodic singing on top of this like really aggressive bass line. That's an interesting mix.
The percussion's super aggressive.
I like how the last note kind of ends on the 6th chord. Gives the instrumental more value and heft.
You gotta stop, you gotta stop, you gotta stop now. You gotta stop, you gotta stop, you gotta stop now.
Interesting resolution there.
Yeah.
Not quite what I expected.
Yeah. I'd say so. It sounded like really angsty, like, you know, don't do it, man. Like, I could just, like, see a music video happening in my brain that stars me doing dumb shit my freshman year. But, I mean, I say that. I definitely, like, in hindsight, don't regret it, because obviously, like, she was awesome. But, like, all at the same time, if I could go back, probably might say, hey, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But good luck.
Something that caught my attention was the timbres between Sungjin and Wopil.
Wonpil.
I thought it was nice how they it was passed on because it was the same in timbre, but then the way they end the inflections at the end It's very, very different. So it's like, I thought it was very nice how most of them have a very similar timbre, specifically when they're passing it on, like at the very beginning. But then near the end, that's when they really show their individuality, because it's the way they choose to vibrato their voice. And I thought it was very cool. Yeah, it was very like enjoyable for some reason. It continuously went through these harmonic progressions, and it's just like it's never dull or loses its spark. And then the way they introduce like repetitive words like warning and
you better stop.
You better stop. Now it's like these interruptions are so, I guess they're so compatible with the continuous flow that they're trying to go for. Yes, you're going through the motions, but then all of a sudden you have these warning signs really just blaring in your face. And I think that really added to the texture, just like making it so different or not so repetitive.
It also fits the theme of a rock song. You're playing this very edgy minor song that's singing about love in a way that countless other songs have done before. But when you add the words like warning and you gotta stop, there's suddenly like this weird crime like edge to it. It fits the overblown nature of the music so well. Yeah, it's very hype. And you know, I like my soft Day6 songs. I like my Day6 songs when they're singing at their comfortable range, and it's like you can bop to it, but you can also just chill to it. But I really like it when the boys go hard. And they do go hard.
Talking To is a B-side song from the same album as Warning. Fun fact, this group actually decided who would compose which part by playing rock, paper, scissors. So they played like a game of rock, paper, scissors, and who won the first round ended up being Wonpil, the keyboard player, and so he chose to write the chorus. So as the game went on, they chose different sections of the song to compose. They went off for 30 minutes, composed that section, got back together, ended up working, boom. We have the song. And they came up with the idea of talking to someone in the middle of the night, and that's how they got the lyrics.
We'll listen to it, and I'm gonna give this song a talking to.
Matt!
I like this.
Got that tritone.
I like this guitar line that we got going on right away. There's some like weird...
Young K is hot.
The wateriness of the opening synth and keyboard sound gives a sun-baked quality. This is a great summer hit.
His voice sounds so good here.
His voice always sounds so good.
I like the reverb they put on it.
And talking about Jay, his voice always sounds good. Whoa.
Oh, I like that.
Did the key just change? Okay. It was very
I don't even
sudden,
know.
to the point where I couldn't even fully tell.
There's a little bit of that initial D major sound that grounds it, even though it's in B major for that transition.
Ooh, I like that call and response thing.
The melodic lines.
And in the D major chorus, the B major sound comes back too. Circular. Comes full circle.
It's like they like try to like do like a 2/5 to like the minor, but they made it major. It's interesting.
Mixture.
Mixture.
That was cool.
Yeah, they got some interesting.
All right. Oh, this is like going between so many different like
this is weird.
places.
It's just so laid back.
Yeah.
In the back of the beat.
Yeah.
Ah, that's really good. So they sing Just Talking To, and it's in B. I'll talk about it later. Never mind. Scratch that.
I love all this modal mixture that they have going on in the melody because I don't know. It just is cool.
It makes it like it leads you different places.
Yeah, it
it's
keeps
not
it interesting. It like keeps you on your toes.
Oh, this is a lower voice. Definitely a different timbre.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
I love
now
that.
the drums have dropped out.
I like how there's like just that little like like the higher voice.
This is like a major 7 chord that comes at the beginning.
Is Young K the rapper?
He's
Okay,
the
that's what I
hottie.
thought. No, Jay's the hottie.
Okay. They're all the hottie.
That's also true.
I like that part.
I feel like one pill. I feel like his voice has like a slightly nasal quality to it, but it really works well in the context of the group.
Ah, colorful synths. No, too short. Too short. They should have played a full 4 measures before they started the fade out. Because I love that sound so much. Yeah.
So
that was so enjoyable.
Yes.
Wow. I really like that piano vibraphone kind
Yeah.
of sound where it's just like ornaments after the downbeats of each one of the beats. And the way it's like in the setup in the beginning, it's like it really sets off like an offset feeling. So you're like, there's a sense of like no origin or there's no center. But then once you hit the chorus, man, that is such a wonderful feeling. And then later you have the ornaments covering it later. So it's just like, I really enjoyed each one of the sections because it showed the individuality of each one of the people singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's like the stylistic differences, they really aim to like make sure that each section is very definable for itself. So it's like, if it's a chorus, it's a chorus. There's more instruments. And then the other like verses, they would thin it out with the instrumentation and focus more on the voice. So overall, really wonderful. I loved it.
Yes. This song is very clever in its composition because we have a section in B major and the first chord of the chorus is E minor, which is the 2 chord of D major. Basically, B major is the dominant of E minor. Mm-hmm. And so one thing that they play around with a lot is this section going to start in B major or is actually going to start in E minor? And in the second verse, right afterwards, we expect the B major transition before the chorus. But what happens is they sing da 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 da, so we're like, oh yeah, we're going to go to B major. But no, they skip it because it's da 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 da, and then the chorus starts. Yeah, so they use those notes to kind of bait us to thinking that the same section would appear when it's a totally different section. And the thing is, the chorus also resolves in B major, and after that it repeats, so the B major goes to E minor. And that dominant tonic relationship gives it more drive and more tension than an otherwise more cliched chord progression song would.
I think it was a little bit of text painting because they had the lyrics up and it was like, they were talking about sad things and it got minor. And then they were like, oh, okay, moving right along, and they brought us like kind of suddenly back into major. I couldn't sense a strong pivot chord. It just kind of like the third changed to be major. So
maybe that like symbolizes how you just gotta like get over it. You just gotta pick yourself up without a pivot chord. Sometimes life doesn't give you pivot chords.
I think understanding the background kind of, in a way, it's like, I feel like surprisingly good despite that, but at the same time it did kind of like hop around in some very like weird places at times. That, like, I don't know, it had, there's like that kind of like Latin vibe in the middle of it, and then there's like this Fall Out Boy vibe, and it's like everything else in between.
Well, you can definitely hear the separations, but once again, like, I thought they worked like well. I
think like the driving, I feel like the beat and the guitar kind of served as like the glue, if you will.
Well, yeah, and then there was that, I think it was either the keyboard or maybe it was just like a track, but it was just like, especially when the chorus, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But like, and that's what reminded me of Fall Out Boy, which is funny. But like, yeah.
That was really fun.
It was really
I like the first one better.
Because
it's something, like, I don't know, I like it sounds a little bit more rock and roll.
She likes her music grimy and crusty.
Yeah,
it was
pretty
good.
Much.
Yeah, I like both of them. This one was more like beep boop boop bop, beep boop bop.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I definitely liked both of them.
I really liked the chorus. He did a great job with it.
I agree.
He repeated stuff. Like,
there's also, this one was a lot more harmonically interesting than the first one. I think there was like a lot more mixture and things going places where you didn't necessarily expect it to go. And the harmonies too. It was like they had some very tight harmonies in there, and that sounded really cool.
I agree.
I don't know. I guess just my preference is the first one.
Better.
You like the second one better?
Actually, yes.
Because
more creative, perhaps because it has
the variety.
Well, there's the 4, and like I'm sure there was like a lot of editing that went into like make those actually cohesive, but there was more variety.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you just said. I second that.
I like Warning more. I think knowing a lot of the Day6 songs before that, I think Warning is a direction that is more fresh. I always prefer hearing that done so well compared to even a very enjoyable song like Talking. But in terms of preference, I think Warning is something new, and I like that.
Not knowing Day6 too well, I thought both of them were pretty nice in their own separate ways, where I guess they're distinct genres. It's like the first one in a rock concert would be just so cool, but then for the second one, it's like more like, I feel like it's like more like a personal listen, in a sense.
Hello everyone, I'm Umu and I'm the channel runner of ReacttotheK. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're curious about the videos that we'll be reacting to in the future, I put a link to a doc with our release schedule in the description. Last but not least, if you'd like to support our channel, you can help us out by pledging any amount you would like on our Patreon. On Patreon, you can get access to full unedited pair reaction playlists, reactions to Japanese releases, and much more. And of course, a huge shout out and thank you to our superstar patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.